Hello guys, Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to everybody who's tuned into PTV World and watching World this morning on Wednesday. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in. For everybody who's out there and is actually glued to the PTV World screen, thank you very much for loving our show this much as well. You know, all of that feedback which we keep on getting actually makes us do a little more better every single day as well, which is why I'm right here in front of you. But today a very interesting thing happened with me, and that is that, usually when I wake up, so there's no single thought in my head. All I know is that I just have to get ready, be on time, and just take a look at what I have to probably say, and then just come towards the studio. Because what I do is the way I prepare is that later that night I will actually read about it, and then the next morning, when I'm going to wake up, I'll read it again, and then probably go with the show too as well. But today I had a very different thought in my head, and that was that usually when you wake up, so you have either you're in a good mood, either you're in a bad mood. Now, it is for you to decide whether you're going to pass this day in a good mood or a bad mood. And for that particular reason, obviously, if you never had a good dream last night, or probably something of that sort, you won't really be in a good mood. Or probably if you saw something which is close to a nightmare, you won't be happy with that too as well. So I think that for pretty much everybody, it is for your own selves to decide whether you want to be happy on this particular day or not. And today I've chosen to be very happy, and it's because of the fact that I have a lot of medical issues with me. So every morning when I wake up, either my shoulders are hurting, either my arms are hurting, or something's hurting. So even if that's hurting, and if that's what I have to live with, I think that I've made a pact with all of these conditions. And now I realize, I talk to myself and I tell myself that whatever it is, I'm going to get up for all of those people out there who are waiting for me to be on the show. So ladies and gentlemen, it's time to rise and shine, wake and bake, get up, and be more focused about what you want to do in life. Because for all those people who are high achievers, or whom we want to follow, or who inspire us, they have actually given in a lot. And when I say that they have given in a lot, they have given in a lot in terms of effort, in terms of hard work, in terms of dedication, in terms of motivation. And I think all of these things are components of being a great personality, or having a great character, or possessing a great character. But other than that, there's one more thing, ladies and gentlemen, which I think can actually help people in developing or building their character. And I think that is reading books. Ladies and gentlemen, whenever I'm traveling all over the globe, it's just in Pakistan that when I'm traveling, domestic. So what happens is I would see people, rather queuing up or breaking the queue, or probably somebody just doing their own thing, or charging cell phones, or watching videos on the cell phones. But in the West, whenever you are traveling, may it be by a bus, a train, a plane, you will always see people carrying their books, and they do not look here and there. All they do is read books, and that's it. And I think that books have transformed a lot of different lives as well. Recently, I read a book which is with the name of The Art of Thinking Clearly. It's the author's name is Debelly, and I think that that book has actually transformed me. But I was only able to read that book because of the fact that that book was actually in English. Now imagine if the book is not in Urdu or English, or the language you probably speak or read, how would you actually get to know what is in the rest of the world, or what does the rest of the world holds for you? Because it's immense knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. Literature is one of those things which I think has got a longer shelf life. But then there are people who actually want a piece of that canvas, where authors are being appreciated, but translators are not. Why? Because I believe translation is one of the most difficult things to do. I mean, to get the right thing out, which the author actually wanted to get out for all those people, or the understanding of the people. I think that the translator needs to do that job. They really need to be in conversation with such people who are actually going to tell them. For example, if I'm going to tell you Rolling Stone gathers no moss. Now, if I'm going to translate it in Urdu, it really needs to feel like this, and the meaning comes out, needs to be the same way as well. So I think that the translators really need to be given a piece of appreciation because of the work they have done. They have actually bridged the gap. Translating a book is just like linking a canal, a smaller canal to a bigger canal, and a bigger canal to a river, so that everybody can actually take advantage of that. This is what we are doing today, ladies and gentlemen, over here. We've been joined by somebody amazing over here who's actually translated this book. And not only him, I know a lot of other people who've actually mentioned about this book themselves too as well, and they say that this book has actually transformed their life. Why? how and why did this person actually in the first place picked up this book to translate, and how does he feel about it? This is something which we'll be talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, the title of the book in Urdu is Dervishon Ka Dera, and it's written by two people, and Khalid Suhail and Rabia Al-Ruba. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that all of these people really need to be paid rich tribute as well for the kind of services they have provided in terms of writing these books. Because this book, ladies and gentlemen, I think is an argument in between a logical and a spiritual side. And I think that this is where we get confused. Usually, as Muslims do as well, there's this mindset where people wants to talk about spirituality, have firm belief in Allah, the most divine. And then at the same time, there are people who actually want to back it up with scientific reasons. And I think that this is the best combo as well. If you can get a scientific reason and then a spiritual belief and you join them together, well, it's not less than a Sufi then, ladies and gentlemen. But they say that there have been only 2.5 Sufis in the world so far. Rabia Basri being half of them as well, and it speaks about Rabia Basri as well, the book itself. So ladies and gentlemen, so the very kind, the very amazing translator of this book, ladies and gentlemen, is with us. He's none other than Colonel retired Mr. Naeem Ashraf as well. Hello sir, Assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Walaikum assalam, good morning, and thank you very much Shahzad, having invited me to PTV World once again. It's my pleasure.
So it's very kind of you that you've actually showed up, and it's a great thing that you've done in today's time, because otherwise people are busy in writing blogs, making vlogs for internet, but you at the same time are doing something which is actually going to have a longer shelf life and people will benefit from it. So first things first, why did you pick this book up to translate?
Okay, two main reasons. First reason is that this book has revived the culture of letter writing.
Okay, sir.
Which, if not died, was hibernating for last 2-3 centuries.
Yeah.
If we trace back the letter writing in context of Urdu literature,
yes,
in context of subcontinent,
yeah,
you are reminded of Ghalib ke Khatut or Makatib e Ghalib,
exactly,
and then Faiz Ahmad Faiz letters to
exactly,
Alice, or
and even they
Atiya
used to
Faizi's
exchange letters too,
letter to Iqbal. But those letters were, number one, few, and secondly, those letters were of personal nature and romance and all that.
Exactly.
These letters are philosophical in nature,
Yep,
and they change your worldviews about religion, psyche, spirituality, relationships, love, marriage,
everything
romance,
pretty much,
friendship, everything.
yeah.
And societies, Eastern society, Western society, as you just said, that scientific approach towards life and spiritual approach towards life.
I think it's the best combination.
So that's the one reason. Second reason that I picked. First is it motivated me. Dr. Khalid Suhail is in Canada for last 35 years, and he has written almost 35 books. He's a psychotherapist, poet, and a writer.
Wow.
And he came out with this novel idea, and with his pen friend Rabia Rabah, who is based in Lahore, and they exchanged these letters in 2 months, 50 letters, 5,000 words in a go, covering all the different. So in a way, this is a unique and maybe the only project of this century where 50 letters are combined and compiled in one book.
Yeah.
So that was I wanted to contribute to revive the culture of letter writing.
Well, that's great, and which is why, so ladies and gentlemen, today what we're going to do is that we are actually following this line. So it says philosophical discourses through letter fiction, and I think that it gives it away too as well. But sir, in the first place, obviously, to translate a book and to do all of this, or to go to this length after a book, I think that the book needs to inspire somebody in the first place as well.
Right.
How did you get to know about this book in the first place? And then when you read it, was it there and then that you decided that, okay, I'm going to translate it for the rest of the world so that people can benefit from it? Well, how was it?
Right. So this is my 4th translation.
Exactly.
Before this, I was compiling my own anthology, which comprises 32 short stories of 32 talented Pakistani writers of 21st century who have not been come into limelight.
Wow.
Rabia Al-Ruba.
Yes.
contacted me to send her story for that book.
All right.
And I selected the story, and then we became pen friends. And then I came to know that she has done an enormous job.
Okay.
She took 5 to 7 long years to carry out research and compiled a book, Encyclopedia of Afsanas, Urdu Afsana Aid Hazar mein.
Wow.
And that book has 2 volumes, and it has been published by National Book Foundation, Islamabad.
Amazing.
And this is, and in May last year, she suddenly vanished
Yeah.
for 2 months.
Okay.
So
This is how writers and poets are. You know, they come and then all of a sudden you know that you cannot contact them, and then after a year they are back, and then you're like, oh, where were you? Oh, we were just busy.
So she came out of her dream in July, and she told me that she's still in a trance.
Okay.
I said, why? She said that I just had a marathon exchange of letters with Dr. Khalaswail.
Wow.
And this is it was in soft copy.
Yeah.
And she said that these are the letters.
Okay.
So Dr. Khalaswail called me. And then when we discussed and we told about each other, he then sent me his autobiography. He has written The Seeker. Then in next very call,
Yeah.
he said that my heart has whispered that you are going to translate this book.
Yeah.
And on the back page, there is one space vacant,
Yeah, there is.
and that I am dreaming
Yeah.
that space will be filled by you.
Wow.
As
That's great.
translator.
Okay. So we've got it on the screen, but it's not this one. So we actually want to, because the picture is back on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the picture is there, but
Missing-
if you're
missing
going to
on
take a look
Urdu.
at the book, which is in my hand, so there's not. I think that. Okay, so let me explain it to you like this. So the understanding of how things happened in between Colonel Saab and Dr. Sohail and Rabia Rabba is the kind of thing that it took place spiritually as well, because of the fact that in
Mystery.
the first place, when he wrote this book, this space was empty.
All right.
And he might have never thought that, okay, somebody's going to translate it and I'm going to put the picture over here, but it happened. So yeah, it's a different world, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how to experience it or how to express it in words, but probably Colonel Saab can do that. So Colonel Saab, how did you feel when he told you that probably you're going to take this responsibility and translate it for the rest of the world, knowing that there's a space for one more person over here?
Right.
So was it planned or it just happened?
So when we interacted, I didn't know that there is one space vacant here.
Yeah.
I was about to finish my own anthology.
Wow.
And I was busy in that. I was finalizing it. So I told him that you have to wait for maybe a couple of months.
Okay.
And in the meantime, I wanted to make my mind, because essentially this was their discourse. So there should be something for me to translate it.
Exactly.
So
What was it?
You know what was his reply?
Yeah.
He said that there is a book about Siddhartha,
Yes.
and it's a novel written by Hamas. And when Princess asked Siddhartha that what have you learned from this meditation and wandering in jungles,
Yeah.
and all this rough out, he said, I can wait, I can think, I can fast, and I can wait.
So he's more patient now.
So he said that I can wait as long as you want,
Yeah.
but you are the one who is going to translate it.
Exactly. And this is the conversation taking place after you've read the book? Or is it before that?
It's before that.
Okay, it's before that. So you haven't read the book now?
No, I have read Urdu.
Okay.
I was about reading in maybe few chapters.
Okay.
I had
And then you were on conversation, you were having a conversation, and he says that there's a space empty for you,
Yeah.
and you should be the one doing it.
that actually I told him that in Urdu book there is a space. He didn't know it even.
Okay. Wow.
So then I told Rabia, what is this? She said that it's a mystery,
And it's great. I love it. And now when I'm actually hearing it from Colonel Saab, I think that it is truly unbelievable. For some things, there's always space for you, but you never know.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is believe in yourself and keep yourself dedicated, and that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know whether we can do that or not, but if you look over here, there are two pictures, and there's a space for the third one. So originally when the book was actually published, the space was there. The author did not know it, and then eventually it turns out that Karnal Sahib gets to translate it, and his picture goes away. Wow, it is a mystery to me. But what were the most common challenges you came across while you were translating the book? Because from Urdu to English, the context needs to be 100% replica of what is said in the other language, or probably the native language of the author.
All right. So, there are two things. Translating fiction is much more difficult.
Yeah.
So, it's not purely fiction, it's non-fiction. The problem I faced was Rabia she used to write these letters during night.
Okay.
And she was awake all the time and sleep during day. And when she was, she used to write, she would, hang between conscious and subconscious minds.
Okay.
And in the morning, even she didn't, she would not know.
I'm sorry that I'm cutting you short as well, but I need to ask this. How would you know whether somebody is doing any activity in a conscious or a subconscious mind?
Right. So, when you are not following the, being a military man, when you are not following the compass,
Yeah.
you are going astray left and right, it means you are not in fully, you are discussing a topic and then you jump to another topic.
Okay.
Altogether different.
And I
So
think
that-
it's a great thing that you've taught us today as well, because from now on I'm going to start judging authors, whether they've written a book in a conscious mind or a subconscious mind.
And Dr. Saab's connotations and focus and topic would be going in a sequence and in a route, and then it will culminate on a conclusion.
Okay.
Right. And at time, Rabia would discuss 2-3 topics and then conclude in the end, or leave it all together.
Okay.
So I felt challenges, and second challenge was the poetry used in these letters.
Wow.
So I have translated that poetry in poetic English.
Okay. Well, that's great. Okay. So I just wanted to read a little bit of poetry from here.
Right.
Well, I'll have to look for it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So probably in the next show as well. So what do we actually mean poetic English? So are you trying to refer to the vocabulary being used
Right.
when you've translated all of those poems?
Yes.
How did you do that? I mean, did you seek help from anybody else? Were you on call with Dr. Suhail or with Miss Rabia?
Yeah, many times I called him, and when it took many hours to put a word there.
Okay.
Because one word would have a scientific meaning,
Yeah.
a military meaning, a literary meaning,
Yeah.
a dictionary meaning, and a
Exactly.
literal meaning. So you have to pick a word which should convey the proper
Message.
sense.
Exactly.
And you have to remain polite, soft, and poetic, and maintain the interest of the reader.
Exactly.
So there is one verse, and it is the verse of Dr. Sahib.
All right.
So I had to translate it into English, and that verse is that his philosophy is that in every society there are two types of people, two groups of people. One is the traditional majority,
Yeah.
and the other is the creative minority.
Yeah.
Right. Traditional majority follows the customs, traditions, and culture
yeah.
and values of the society
Yeah.
and the rules. The creative minority follows the heart,
Yeah. Wherever it takes.
wherever it takes. So, but the problem is that in the course of history of mankind, the creative minority has made all the changes.
Wow.
So the insanity and the passion that exists in the creative minority.
Amazing.
So in traditional societies, they are closed by the walls of the traditions.
Exactly.
So he has a verse. First I will speak in Urdu. Then if I remember, I will translate it into English.
You've translated it yourself. I think you'll remember. Don't worry.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
इस दर्जा रवायात की दीवारें उठाईं, इस दर्जा रवायात की दीवारें उठाईं, नस्लों से किसी शख्स ने बाहर नहीं देखा.
Wow.
So you remain
So
confined.
everybody has been traditional. Yeah.
The walls of traditions were built so high and strong no one since centuries, no one could see out and beyond.
Wow, that's great. And I think that it gives us a very amazing message as well. And I think that for all those people, all those Naujawan out there, I think it's about high time that we actually learn from these books too as well and the message they give. But sir, before I wrap up this segment, I've got two very important questions for you. First of all, what is the translated title of this book?
Dervishes INN.
Dervishes INN. Why Dervishes INN?
Because actually, Doctor, I read 40 Rules of Love.
Yeah.
And the book is written novel. I am translating it from English to Urdu.
Okay.
And I am halfway through. It is written by famous novel writer, Turkish Elif Shafak.
Okay.
And Shams Tabriz, he wandered for 40 years. And in one of the episode of the chapter of the novel, he was staying near Basra in an inn.
Okay.
And that was Dervishes INN.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So I picked the word from there.
Well, that's great. And I love the title too myself. And in near future, you'll be going to Canada to promote your book, and the book
launching,
will be
and there will
launched
be a
over there
seminar
too
on
as
this.
well.
Right.
And ladies and gentlemen, the book's being published by Green Zone as well. And so how is it going to happen? So you're going to go to Canada to Dr. Suhail?
Right.
Yeah, and you're going to launch the book over there, or it's going to be a global launch?
Right. It's going to be a global launch because Dr. Sahib has made the people who follow the heart creative minority, he has made FOTH, Family of the Heart.
Okay.
So people, the dervishes all over the world, they come there.
Yeah.
He has a place, and now he has named it Dervishes INN.
Dervishes INN.
And they are going to come over there, and there will be a seminar, and there will be a book talk. And this book has been put on Amazon as well.
Wow, that's great.
So you can order it.
So ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get your hands onto this book, please make sure to get it from Amazon. I mean, for all those people who are not Urdu readers, who are probably English readers, you can get it from Amazon. The name or the title of the book is Dervishes INN. It's about high time that you get it. But one last question before we say goodbye to Colonel Sahab over here, and that is, so quite often, because we belong to television, and most of our friends are from television, dramas, films, and whatnot. So one of the statements which I get to hear quite a lot is that fiction becomes reality. All right, and it is something which we believe in as well. I mean, for example, if we go back in time, if we are going to watch a film from 1970s, the type of technology they use is probably the technology we're using in 2019. So do you think that this book, which is a work of fiction, is going to be reality in days to come?
Yeah, it has. I hope and I believe
that
it will promote the culture of letter writing, number one, and number two, green zone philosophy. That we were just discussing. That it has a very practical, it can transform a person.
Wow.
The way of thinking.
Amazing.
The way of thinking about friendship, way of thinking about love, way of thinking about relationship, clarity of mind. The doctor is clear about everything.
Wow.
So this green zone therapy is a therapy which if you apply on yourself, you can manage your anger, you can manage your worries. So it's going to be a reality.
Amazing.
And everything which was metaphysics in last century is physics in today's century.
Exactly. So, sir, very quickly, if you have any last words, please go ahead, speak with all of our viewers who are out there who are actually watching you right now.
My message for youngsters is, and my message for intelligentsia and the intellectuals. It is unfortunate that social media like Facebook and WhatsApp is being misused. And it is unfortunate, and I am hurt to read that people are writing against the country, against the motherland. Shahzad, it's not a must that your mother is more educated, and sometimes that she is not talking, she is irrational.
Exactly.
But you are not insolent to your mother.
That's
she is your mother.
Exactly.
Right? So love for the country, and please do not use media. And also I request the people on the helm of affairs and the PEMRA and the PTA to check those things which hurt the feelings of the patriotic people, and we should not be, our pseudo-intellectualism should not be used on defaming the state and state organs.
Thank you very much for these wise words, sir. Thank you very much for being with us. It was lovely to have you.
So nice
And
of you.
best of
Thank
luck
you.
for
I am
the
pleased
book which
to.
you've translated, ladies and gentlemen. The name is Dervishes INN. It's available on Amazon. Please make sure to check that out. And for everybody who's out there, we're going for a short break. Don't go anywhere, because when you guys will come back, we've got somebody who's actually worked for a film. What did he do? Well, this is something which we'll find out after a break. Good morning.
Young girls in the beautiful valley of Kashmir sing and dance to the soft and lyrical music. Please enjoy the Kashmiri dance.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. For everybody who just got tuned into PTV World, you watch your world this morning alongside Shahzad Khan. Earlier, ladies and gentlemen, we were in conversation with Kannada retired Naeem Ashraf, who's actually translated a book from Urdu to English, and I think that he's done a great job for people who actually want to learn a little more. Please, I think that it's about time that you actually log on to Amazon and get his book, which is with the name or the title of Dervishes INN. But from writing a book, I'm going to take you to from writing a book to writing a song and be a lyricist and be a singer for the film industry and the drama industry. I think it's a great job to do. And I don't know about your views, but right now we're going to share a song with you guys. And the guy who's actually done this brilliant job is over here in the studios with us. We'll be in conversation with him. This is Janan coming your way.
कैसी खलिश ये कैसी सजा दो पलकों में ले यहाँ मैं हूँ वहीं क्यों तू चल पड़ा रास्ते मंजिलें सब जुदा थी मेरी हर खुशी तुझसे जुड़ी अब कहीं नहीं चैन दो घड़ी तुझको ढूंढूं मैं कहाँ जाना जाना जाना
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've actually been very lucky that we've been joined by Sham Khan. He's a singer. He sings for drama serials, for films. He's released his own singles as well, and that too in a very short span of time. Within 3 years, he's one of those singers who's actually, I can bet on him that, in a few years to come, he'll be the big thing as well. And Sham, assalamu alaikum, a very warm welcome. How are you?
I'm good, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for joining us. Wonderful to have you. And then the best part, ladies and gentlemen, over here is that for the very first time, I'm actually not the second time, Haroon being the first one, Aaron, and second, Sham being the second one because of the fact that they're even related to the IT industry. They develop applications for cell phones like Apple and Android. And that's great. So, Umair, what I'm going to ask you is, how did you land into singing a song for a film?
Starting my career from it was a typical landing like a guy with a guitar and the cafeteria college thing,
Yeah.
and some people around saying that you can do it,
You
you can
do
do
it,
it.
you can do it, yeah.
And but in the industry that was accident, you can say.
Okay, how did
I
that
just
happen?
simply messaged to some of the directors and they listened my voice and said, okay, you can get a chance.
Yeah.
But you don't have money, but you can get the chance.
So the first chance you ever get was it for a drama series or was it for a film?
It was for a film.
Which film?
It was for Janan.
It was for Janan. So ladies and gentlemen, Sham wrote this song and I think that this is the song from Janan film which everybody knows. And I think that this is the song which people have heard quite a lot of times as well.
Exactly. And for one thing, that Fatma Najib was the writer of the half song.
Okay.
The main lyrics was from Fatma Najib,
Wow.
but the rest of the song was mine.
Well, that's great. And ladies and gentlemen, it is very important if you're a singer to actually mention the name of the lyricist, because if you are not going to do that, he or she is probably going to put up a status and you won't like that too as
No,
well.
obviously it's a teamwork.
Yeah.
It's about the combination of the music composer, the players, the lyricists,
Exactly.
and obviously the singer in the end. But it's a combination. It's a teamwork.
Exactly. And right after Janan, because it was such a massive hit, you got a few other offers too as well. You sang for another film, Jackpot, and then you sang for another drama serial.
Yes.
How did you do it all? I mean, and that too in a short span of time, within 3 years, because I've seen singers, who have actually spent 10 years within the industry and they've only got 2 releases under the table.
I was actually doing music before that Janan thing as well, but
Yeah.
those songs were not that much famous. But that was the Janan song, the mellow version of Janan, that kicked me a lot because
Yeah.
the real versions was from the Shreya Ghoshal and Arman
Exactly.
Malik. So right after that, I feel like that I can stand in between the artists because I have that uniqueness.
Yeah.
Maybe in a sad tone or something.
Yeah.
But you know that it's really hard to stand between those big names. They are names like Rahat Ali, Ali Zafar, and everyone who is like investing his lot of money into the film, he always want to spend the money on the people which can, turn them back.
Yeah.
So-
or probably be of a little more profit to them.
Yeah, exactly. But I guess that the little edge was that I was like lyricists as well.
Yeah.
I can compose,
Yeah,
and
wow.
I can sing. So this was like a complete package. Maybe that attract.
Well, that's great. So, what kind of music do you want to do in near future? Because do you want to stick to the genre which is more suitable for the films or the dramas? Because we have a few melodramatic songs going on these days too, as well. Even if we listen to the one from Janan, it's melodramatic. So, do you think that in days or in near future, in days to come, if you get a chance, you'll probably move towards hard rock, rock, or probably any other genre you like?
I'm doing a song for PTV. It's a blues.
Yeah.
And in a jackpot, I even did a rap in that.
Wow, that's great.
So I just don't want one tag on me. I'm
Yeah.
trying to be unique
Versatile.
and versatile as well. But obviously, as you know, that our industry is not on a big scale, so I cannot refuse many of the projects.
Okay.
I can choose the good one, if not A category, then not even C category.
Yeah.
So I'm standing in between and
Okay.
trying to do the work for them. But yes, I would love to sing sad and slow versions. But on the other hand, I would like to be on the screen as well.
Well, that's great. And it is always great to be on screen and it feels great. But other than that, there's one more thing which I wanted to ask, and that is, for example, when Mr. Rahat Fateh Ali Khan, who's definitely a legendary singer, and his lineage is very legendary too as well, because he's related with Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan Sahab. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, we have Shafqat Amanat Ali over here, talking about Atif Aslam, talking about Ali Zafar. All of these people have actually worked across the border too as well.
Exactly.
And usually, whenever I've been in conversation with these people, Shafqat Bhai most prominently as well, what they say is that whenever we go to sing a song on the other side of the border, there is a lot of taming. So they're like, you cannot go to this scale, or probably you need to be a little lower and whatnot, because they're very professional and they kind of have to cooperate. So what I'm going to ask you is that, as a musician, as a singer yourself, when you're doing a project, do you actually have to be in a debate or in an argument with the composer or with the lyricist that, okay, this line does not look very nice, or probably when I sing it, I cannot pronounce it that way, can we change it? So all of these arguments do take place. Did that happen to you?
Many times, actually, as I said, that it's teamwork. So sometimes I have to bear some things, and sometimes they have to bear mine. But obviously, in the end, if all well, it's end well. So the main focus is always on the product side. So as a lyricist and a composer, mostly the thing is going for my way.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing all the thing. So I'm not having that experience yet.
Yeah.
But obviously, the director eye is something different. He is going to see the things that he is going to shoot him.
Yeah.
And obviously, when someone invests, the producer, he always wants the things to his way as well.
I think that's great. But when you've sung a song,
Okay.
you know how the expressions are, the emotion,
Exactly.
Jana, the way it has been done. So when, for example, when you get to see the video and you see the heroine and the hero performing, do you at times, or have you noticed that, that the expressions missing, or probably they would have done it more intense, or they should have done it more lightly?
I always work on these things because as a playback singer, the emotions are the most important
Exactly.
things. Not only on a sad situation, obviously, if you are doing something funky
Yeah.
and on a dance number. And this is the thing I feel like that most of the uprising talent is missing with.
Wow.
Because, I know many people who sang very well, but when it comes about the
expressions
emotion,
are there, they're
expressions
flat.
are, yeah, exactly.
Exactly. For example, if I'm going to sing, I'm going to sing like this. Jana. There's no expression. But when he's going to sing it, Jana. So there's always a difference. So which is why what I'm going to do is that obviously we have got your music videos. They're out there. People can see that. But we want to hear you live, so that for everybody who's actually tuned in right now gets to know how good at the Sham Khan is. So what are you going to sing for us today? Anything.
Yeah, anything. So I guess that I would like to sing few lines of my favorite song. It's from my song from ATV,
Yeah, go ahead.
and it's like दिल की दहलीज पे रख चुका वो अपना कदम
Wow.
बदले मौसम सभी जैसे पूरे हो चले हम ख्वाब आँखों के पर्दे में यूं खिलने लगे, हाथ थामे जैसे हम चलने लगे, ओ, तू मेरा दिल, तू मेरी जान, जाने जा मेहरबान, सामने तू बैठा रवे हर वेले में तकदा रवां, तू मेरा दिल, तू मेरी जान, जाने जा मेहरबान.
Super, yeah, super.
you
Very
so much.
cool, ladies and gentlemen. He's definitely very cool with his vocals too as well. And to listen to him live over here in the studios, it is a very soulful experience. Did you go to a school to learn music, or it just came to you naturally?
Actually, it's a bad and a tough luck that we don't have such academies to learn the
Yeah.
things. There are academies, but mostly they, I mean, tell you about the classic things. I know about the basics of the thing,
Yeah.
songs, the chords and all, and I've learned that as well.
Okay, well, that's right.
But not about the special training for that background thing. You have to do that. on
So
your
what
behalf.
is different, you know, because you've released your own songs as well, you know, which are not into a film, you know, your individual releases are there. But then how different is an individual release from a song which you have sung for a movie, which you sang for a movie?
In individual release, you don't have any storyline.
Okay.
You can play with anything.
Yeah.
But in the playback thing, you have that specific storyline. You have to strict about it. The lyrics are
Yeah.
strict. You cannot go out of that boundary. So this is the only difference. And obviously, it's a big screen thing.
Yeah.
They are the artists performing on that. So you have to be with these things in mind that I need to put these situations through my words and my
Yes.
expressions and music as well.
Exactly, and I think it is very important as well, which is why, Sham, since we're going to wrap up the show, you know, unfortunately, the time's done. We're done with the time for the show. So what I wanted to ask you is, what do you aspire to be, or where do you see yourself in next 5 years? What do you want to do as a singer?
I don't know about tomorrow actually, but the thing is that obviously I want to do the best of the best.
Yeah.
I just want that our industry should grow in a good way, so
Exactly.
that everybody who is part of that industry, I mean, hands with hands, and we all celebrate the things. So this is the main thing I just want.
And I think it's important as
Yeah,
well. Thank you
exactly.
very much,
Thank you
Sham, for
so
being
much.
with
Thank
us,
you so much.
and best of luck for your future
Thank you so much.
ventures as well. And ladies and gentlemen, for everybody who's out there, I think that it is our responsibility as Pakistanis or as music lovers that we actually need to promote those people who actually are talented and needs to be promoted. So please make sure to write to us on our Facebook fan page, which is with the name of World This Morning. On Twitter, it's World This Morning without a G. On Dailymotion and YouTube, it's World This Morning. The fabulous repeat is going to be at 11 p.m. tonight. Till the next time, 1, 2, 3, good morning, and keep your... Bye.